All right, hey baseball fans, bit of a late start tonight. It is Friday, and what the hell time is it? It's 11:25 p.m. On the East Coast. So hopefully everybody's doing well today. We had our Christopher Slovic thing today, which is really cool. Chris was very gracious to come on. We also had Steve Tate was with us, Dwayne Martz on mic. There's Carlos Yaz. Carlos Yaz was hanging out for a while. So, I mentioned that McGreevy is coming up again, and it is, but there's going to be a parallel project to McGreevy that's not going to require any, sort of managers or anything. So, this was something that Ken Castro and I had started on, and I'm finishing up logos. We'll get in a game hopefully tonight. This might be a chance to just talk some baseball, hopefully. And if not, whatever. So let me show you what this thing looks like as I'm working on these logos. But let's go back to just our standings. So what we did is we picked 15 teams from the 19th century and 15 teams from the dead ball era. And you can see, I think what I'm going to be doing for as I thought about making custom logos for the 19th century teams, but that would definitely take a long while. So yeah, how about it? I'm glad you had fun, Carlos. I really did. That's something that we're gonna all try to get together on different channels. Mine, Steve's, Dwayne's, MV, whatever. When it's just a great way for the whole community, not just content creators, but for everybody to touch. Kind of just talk, touch base, what have you, everything like that. So I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Um, definitely. Um, so this is going to be kind of just a fun kind of thing that will run kind of concurrently along when McGreevy restarts. The McGreevy thing is pretty much we're just dumping a bunch of players into a big pool. We're not going to use the baseball history collection this time for this McGreevy. This is the eve of the start of the of Shanks 3.0. I won't be here for opening if it's opening night. I won't be here tomorrow for that. But Steve Tate will be doing that on his channel, and if he does during the day, I'll be here, and it'll still be at Steve Tate's channel. So, for those of you that are interested, or you might have a team, definitely check it out. Yep, and here is 19th Century Returns. So yeah, so Ken, right now I'm working on the logos for this little idea the idea that you and I had, and as I was telling Carlos and anybody catching this later, this is going to run sort of concurrent with McGreevy. So if you remember, this was the one that we picked 15 19th century teams and 15 dead ball teams and put them into their own leagues. The Radbourne League for the 19th century and Wagner for the dead ball. So right now what I'm doing is just doing the logos for the dead ball teams. I was thinking about doing custom logos, but for the 19th century teams, but the game does a pretty good job of creating these for our purposes. So I think I'm just gonna leave these alone because for me to design all these logos take a while. For the 19th century, it's going to try to do some ballparks in it, but I think I'm just gonna, I've done a couple. I can't remember if the Ruby Legs were one of them. Let's look at them and see. We are going to do a game tonight. I'm just curious what I did. So I do want to go through and make high socks for everybody. That's for sure. So these guys they'll be easy to do. So don't want any of that crazy stuff here. But like for some of these, it's going to use the default ballpark, which there. So this is what I think I'm going to be assigning to all the 19th century teams. Unfortunately, there's no way to get rid of the lights in the ballpark creator, which drives me nuts because it's going to look really weird for 19th century. But you know what? We're going to have to just suspend some disbelief. But at least trying to design some smaller parks and things like that. Because Michael Silva's great mod only goes. Well, I shouldn't say only. It's such a great mod, but it just goes back to 1901, and that's because there are very few extant photos of 19th century ballparks, as we found out. in the KCCL tournament. Finding things, for the parks for the Providence Grace. So I think, I'm just gonna do, just create these kind of parks like that, and I have to say mea culpa for the lights because there is no way to do these to get rid of the lights. I wish that there was. But there you go. I mean, you get a nice little pastoral setting here. So looking at a daytime photo, and so this will be the Ruby Legs. Again, unfortunately, I can't import ballpark data for the 19th century, but this is really just going to be for fun. So I'm just gonna remember that this is Agricultural County Fairgrounds, and because some of these, like, if I would go to like Riverside Park or whatever, none of these, right? These are going to default to the to the default ballpark in out of the park baseball, which I don't like. So um, I want to work with these and a couple that I've designed, and it'll work. It'll work. If you took away the light standards and this scoreboard, um, this could pass for kind of a 19th century park. We can always pretend. Michael, why not use some parks that were created by others in the community? I could also do that, Michael. Thank you. And I did answer, and I have a question for you because you left a comment. But first off, I want to say thank you for everything you've done for the community, which is absolutely amazing. Um, yeah, I could do some of those, Michael. That'd be a good idea. The thing that's throwing me, of course, is again, but we can't have everything in this life. Um, Whether it's the ballpark creator or whatever, for doing 19th century, maybe I can find some fictional parks. I just wish the lights weren't here. But that said, I just, the ballpark creator, I can understand why out of the park developments isn't making this a high priority considering your amazing work. But I had a question for you. So let me go back to do this because I'm doing this now, unless I've done something wrong. I know when I'm setting up tournaments, for instance, so all the logos, the proper logos in ballparks, if I'm doing a big tournament or or World Series, or whatever, these load. But when you do these sort of fictional leagues, these don't come in. So I guess this is something that maybe, I don't know if Out of the Park could possibly patch and do. Let me see. As Ricken has great thread called Jazz Age Ballparks. All right, you know what? I'll look that up. So, Cousin Ken, maybe we can have some good stand-ins for some ballparks. Yeah, Mike, I'm a graphic artist as well, but watching what you do is a different thing. Some night when you're in a stream, I'll show you some of my own work, not ballparks, and some of my work I can't show on YouTube, unfortunately. Um, but I mean, it would be amazing if blueprints say existed for like some of these parks, like Messer Street and things like that back, or I'm trying to think of some other ballparks in the 19th century. They don't exist. So um, I find the ballpark creator in this fun but limited. In fact, the ballpark creator in the old Earl Weaver games was actually a lot more robust than the one included in Out of the Park. And but most people aren't going to be. Most people aren't playing 19th century baseball. I get it. So, and what you've done, I mean, every park from 1901 to now, man, they're just amazing. And so everybody here, all the dead ball teams will be using your parks, obviously. Yeah, but this ballpark creator, it's just so. But I'll look at that definitely. Let me write this as Rifkin. Let me write this down, and then after this broadcast and tomorrow, I will definitely look because at least if I can find something, because I don't want to sort of duplicate parks. So, say at least we have Fenway Park here, for instance, for the 1916 Red Sox. I don't want to go back for the, in other words, the Boston Red Stockings. Fenway's just not going to look right. Um, and so I want to find something that we can just pretend, okay, this is where the National Association Red Stockings played. We got the 18, oh my God, what is this, the 1876 Louisville Grays. So, yeah, I mean, thank you. I would not have thought about that, Michael. See that? Once again, Michael Silva coming through. In other news today, while we continue and I'm playing with these logos, is that MV did some cricket, and so I think it's called 2020 cricket or something. So it's not like the slower test cricket. And I'm familiar with cricket because when I was I've seen cricket in a bunch of places, both across the pond and here. Really, my largest exposure of it was when I was a Penn State undergrad. We used to have cricket pitches up near like where the baseball park and where the of course where the F-ball team plays as well. And there were cricket matches going on all through the spring and summer, and got interested in the game. But then MV said now there's like a faster version. I was watching it today, and it's fascinating. It's really fascinating to watch. So if anybody wants to just explore one of baseball's purported ancestors, it's fun. I like it. I like it. Again, we had a great thing today with Christopher and Steve came along. Dwayne Martz was here, so it's good to see you, Michael. Michael, I wanted to ask you, how are you liking Action PC Baseball? Are you finding it a nice sort of companion or complementary game to Out of the Park Baseball? Kind of curious what your thoughts are of it so far. If you're liking it, what you feel it's lacking. I think it's easier to work for me. Out of the Park Baseball is better for some things, and Action PC is better for some things, and I think they work so well together. Um, Working at the player level, for instance, on Out of the Park Baseball, I have to tell you, I hate the text import when I can just create leagues at the player level so rapidly in Action PC Baseball. So, hey, World's Worst Gamer, how you doing? While I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. And this is for anybody that doesn't know how to do this. So again, this is using Michael's work, all the logos, ballparks, and everything. But when you create a fictional league, so using a fictional league but real teams or what have you, it will generate these cool logos, but they're not the right logos. Um, but then I went through. I think I did assign the ballparks. So just remember that. So if you're doing a season replay, or you're doing a tournament or a World Series, Michael's mod works like just it works a treat. Um, I but and I guess I can sort of understand why with a fictional league why that I guess this is hard coded into the program to create these. It'd be nice if Marcus and company would say, "Oh, wait a minute, there's some baseball geeks out there that aren't just playing 1989 replay or something." Anyhow, for those of you not familiar, again, you go to settings, go to modify team logos and textures. And what's really nice about Michael's mod, and always make sure to use high socks if you're doing old. So you can select here. So I'm looking for 1914 Boston Braves, and you're looking at a bit of Michael's hard work. All of this stuff is right here. Okay, then I'm just going to look for this 1912, 1915. What you want to look for here is there's going to be two types of logos. One that says small, and then one that's going to have sort of color values. This is the one that you want because this will automatically change the team colors for you. So I see here Boston Braves 1912 to 1915. I click on that, click load, and there's the proper logo, and it's giving me the proper team colors. And when I click OK and go back to this, now everything changes, and it looks great. It really does. I think I'm going to design a different logo for the league, at least, but I'm not going to do anything with the 19th century things. So, but yeah, guys, thanks for coming in. We'll get to a game here. I just want to finish setting up at least the dead ball teams, and then we'll play. We'll play something. I'm going to try to pick a dead ball game till I can look at that thread that Michael's talking about for these Jazz Age ballparks to kind of get some, I'll rename the ballparks, but it'd be like, yeah, here we are at Messer Street Field today, where the Providence Grays are going to take on the Louisville Colonels or what have you. So, and I really appreciate Ken's help in suggesting, especially the 19th century teams, getting those set up. Michael says if you want to set up a Zoom or something, I'd love to. Michael, what I usually do, actually, if you're in our Discord, that's even faster because you can be, boom. If you ever want to be on here in a live broadcast, it'd be nice to just talk to you because you are a creator as well, and just trying to get because I play so many different baseball games on here, and I'm trying to get more people. I've given up on Cousin Ken, but I am trying to get more other people into out of the park baseball. I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to chat about this. That I don't know, Michael, if it's been your experience. It's been mine in this YouTube gaming community that out of the park baseball is really a polarizing game, and I don't understand why, considering you get everything right out of the rip. And but there's people either love the game or they hate the game, and that's even reflected like in Steam reviews. Of course, most of the negative reviews are only focusing on Perfect Team. Oh, it's pay to win. It's pay to win, and it's like I've written 3 reviews 3 years in a row, and I'll write a review about the game, but then I also lambast the people who it's like, all right, are you just functionally illiterate? Perfect Team and out of the park. Right, Perfect Team is in the game, but you don't actually play baseball in the game. You don't have to spend a penny beyond what you bought. That's it. Other people knock it. I guess it's got these really beautiful graphics and things like that. Well, it's not that accurate. Well, yeah, actually it is. Um, I've tried to explain to people out of the park actually has a function that will track your replay versus the actual season. Um, and But still, it's people are kind of tenaciously. You play what you love and everything like that, but I'd really like to see this game get more. Actually, South End grounds. Oh yeah, so this will be. So see how everything is set up here. This is really nice, guys. So I don't know. I mean, I love this game. I will continue to buy it every year. Yeah, it's great. Yep. Oh no. So maybe I'm as biased as you. So Michael, I've like you. You're talking 24 years. So you were there at the first edition in 1999. So was I. Right. Little bit in the way back machine. I remember I was at Penn State at the time, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to get this thing. And it's I think you can still find the very first Out of the Park. I have it somewhere archived, and if I can, maybe some night as a surprise, I'm going to put it on here so you guys can see it. But I don't know how that's going to work because that was like a kind of DOS program, whatever. But it's just great, yeah. So yeah, it was a CD in the mail, absolutely. Hey Bernie, good to see you. Yep, came in and man, and it was great. And I think even then, right, Michael, it was using it was using the Lawman import. And oh my God, I played that game like crazy. Just absolutely loved it, loved it, loved it. Um, and of course, I've told people if you want to just look at an earlier Out of the Park is still available. Out of the Park 8 was really fun, and I still mess around with it occasionally. It's sort of a sexy version of Diamond Mine Baseball. Um, but yeah, this is such a great game. Just absolutely love it. Yeah, it is as far as baseball, because at its heart, Bernie, you're right. I mean, it is a baseball tech sim at its heart, and it is. It's there's again Marcus and Matt and everybody there at Out of the Park Developments getting this Major League Baseball license was brilliant, and going to Steam, even though Steam takes a cut. Um, you really couldn't ask for better exposure for your game, and hopefully what they've done is they've turned people on to this idea. Hey, there are other games out there besides MLB The Show, which not knocking MLB The Show or Super Mega Baseball, have them both, and many editions of MLB The Show, and I have 3 of the 4 Super Mega Baseballs. Um, but I mean, this game is just brilliant. It's brilliant. So you were fictional for the longest time and only recently got into historical. That's interesting. That is really interesting. I tried playing with fictional players, and I just, for me, I couldn't get the connection. So the closest I get to fictional is setting up leagues like this, which I've done. You don't need to know this, but for others, I've shown them how to do this. And the more I do tutorials on this game, the more people tend to come around to it and say, this is pretty cool, and it's not so scary. Michael, you and I will remember what this interface, what the out of the park used to be like. The interface was kind of, you had to get your head around it at first, but once you did, it flowed. But this one is so nice. But again, I mean, it's just super deep. I haven't even gone in and set strategy, or maybe I have. Maybe I did. Yeah, I did set strategy. So the depth of this game is insane. It's just insane. And these guys are talking about interesting food here. So, um, anyhow. But Michael, would it be great sometime, just to get on? And if you don't feel like being on a live broadcast, if you just like having a chat and running through some things about out of the park baseball or action PC or just baseball in general, man, I'd love to talk to you. I think it'd be great. All right, man. Have a good night, Michael, and thanks for coming in. We will definitely chat soon. All right. So the idea, guys, of this league um, is this is again kind of going to be just sort of, it will run concurrent with McGreevy, but where McGreevy we're going to try to get managers again. This one is not going to require managers at all. This is just something fun because I've been just dying to get back to some 19th century and dead ball baseball. I mean, I'm having fun with the things that I'm doing, but I know where my heart is, and it's in early baseball. Yeah, I was thinking about that last night. I was doing 1941, and 1941 is awesome and everything like that. But 1934 is getting closer to what I love to do, and I just miss it. I miss the faster, inside, risky game that you know playing. Let me just pick them. Let me get this 1906 White Sox here. There we go. Boom. Looks nice. So I miss it. I miss it. So I miss. It's great. I love all of baseball. And it's great to say the names of modern players and what have you. But I miss saying Ed Walsh, Christine Mathewson, Three Finger Brown. I miss it all. Yeah, dead ball. Well, 19th century dead ball, but really up through the 1940s. When you start getting into the 50s, yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, the Brooklyn Dodgers. I fall off a bit in the 60s. Then the 70s, I'm kind of like, okay, 70s, good decade. 80s, all right. 90s, yeah. But yeah, my heart really lies in probably for 1876 up to 1949. So that's the other reason, I guess, why I'm doing some 1934, 1941 is to kind of do some stuff that isn't dead ball, but still is something that resonates with me. But you're right, not in the way that dead ball baseball does. I love it, and especially with the end of the McGreevy League and the way Cousin Ken was managing the Providence Liberty Tree. That was seriously such a masterclass on how the managing was done back then, and that comes from Ken's just absolutely it's immense knowledge of the 19th century game, which is it's different than the dead ball game in a lot of ways, but still just as fun. It was still risky, and just loved watching him use those tactics. Double stealing with 2 outs, right? You had runners at the corners, and he was going for steals of home, and you just don't see that, man, anymore. And I love a good home run or grand salami as much as anybody, but so no fish wings. I still can't believe that's a thing. I mean, I know you're not lying to me, man, but I've just probably because I'm vegan, but I've just never heard of fish wings until you started hanging around here. I'm like, what are you even talking about, man? Let's see this. We're going to change this Giants team because this is what the 19th century Giants were. Just going to use this color. But fish wings, I've got this image in my head of flying fish, right? It's so bizarre. Who's this 1905 Giants? So yeah, that cracks me up that you guys are talking about fish wings. I can't. I'm like, so. But you know what? I don't know, man. I mean, when I go out tomorrow, I'm gonna have to ask a bunch of my friends who are all sort of like carnivores like you guys. Oh, almost forgot the high socks there for these guys. There we go. It's like, you guys ever heard of fish wings? We will have had a couple Guinnesses and a shot or two of Tullamore Dew by then, and then we'll talk about fish wings. But I'm just gonna say, I have a friend of mine. So there's another thing, World's Worst Gamer. Oh my God, I'm trying to remember it now. One of the jobs that I had, in fact, when I was working for Porsche, my boss, my first boss at Porsche, before I was promoted, is from Canada. And apparently there's some sort of dish that you guys eat that's like, it's huge. It's like this huge thing, or it's this huge, it's something in a jar or something. Am I making any sense? Because I can't remember the name of it, but it's a Canadian thing. And Canadians just like, apparently, like, this is like, it's like, this is the shit, man. This is the greatest. And I'm trying to remember what she called it. Maybe you rattle off a few names. Oh, this one? Yeah, this is going to be fun. Wait till you see the matchups. This is opening day, actually, Ken. I haven't done anything. I haven't played any games in this. I'll show you what the spring training results and everything like that. Okay, so we've done the Giants. I'm sure Michael has a faster way of doing this, but if he's got to get up early, I certainly get why he had to go. We're almost done here. Okay, the Yankees. We have the 19... So this one, they're the Yankees now. That's it. That's it. Poutine. That is it. That is it. That is it. Thank you, man. You hit it out of the park on the first pitch. Poutine, if I'm saying it correctly. Hey, Todd, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just finishing up these logos and then do a game. I know it's late, but it is Friday night, so modify team colors. Yeah, we definitely don't want these colors for the Yankees, right? Okay, High Sox. And you do a repetitive task. It's like, really? All right, there we go. So poutine. And Bernie is saying that fish wings are real. You know what? I am gonna have to. I trust. I mean, I trust World's Worst Gamer. It's just, it is something I never heard of, man. And again, I'm a vegan, so it kind of makes sense that I wouldn't have heard of them. But it kind of cracks me up. It kind of cracks me up. So I do have to check it out. Unfortunately, I will never be able to sample these wonderful comestibles, but indeed, I shall. I'll give it a go. There, Carlos Yaz knows it. There we go. He said he's watched competitive eaters tackle poutine. And Todd B said he loved poutine when he was seeing. They don't have there's no vegetarian version of that. All right, I'm going to click this link. Let me see. Oh my God, there they are. Wild Alaska Pollock fish wings. Treat yourself wild-caught Alaska Pollock fish wings, breaded and perfectly seasoned with that famous Frank's. Now, see, I love Frank's Red Hot. Good stuff. It's a wildly tasty snack you'll love to share. Fish wings. So it's literally fish wings. Okay. Oh, all right. You know what they sort of... Oh, no, wait. Those are buffalo wings. I'm trying to see, because those buffalo wings look like those things. This is way before I was vegan, vegetarian. You'd go to those... what were those? What was that? Arthur... No, Long John Silver's. That's it. So, but that's not what that is. Okay. So, fish wings are a thing. So that means I've got to design a logo of fish wings or something. Poutine. Oh, by the way, speaking of back, guys, I'm tangents. Roly-poly fish heads. Yum, yum. Oh my God. Thank you, Todd. I'm gonna get Todd on here to sing or something sometime. Carlos says, I guess fish are different north of us to have wings, right? Yeah, right. Crazy things going on there in Manitoba and Calgary and Nova Scotia, Ontario, yeah, and of course Quebec, yeah, and all the other provinces in Canada. Who knows what they get up to in the Yukon, right? In the Northern Territories, whatever. So, but again, you gotta love Canada because nobody hates Canada, man. Nobody hates Canada. I've never met anybody. I hate Canadians. Never have. But yeah, I just never. The things you learn in this community, it just absolutely boggles the mind. I forgot if I did the High Sox for the Yankees. They need a global setting for this. I really thought there was one. Bernie, I'm sorry I missed your game earlier today. 1950. I missed oops. I missed everybody's stuff today. I was watching. So what I'm getting to is MV. I was watching his second cricket stream. He did the first one. And I came in and he was doing Mumbai versus Kolkata. And I had just mentioned, so one of the classic cricket fields, pitches, whatever you want to call, is called the Oval. And so this game that he was playing was, I forget what I'm looking for. Yeah, Cleveland Naps. Is kind of like MLB The Show, but for cricket, right? And so I just happened to say, well, geez, are the, there's the Naps. Man, Michael's awesome, isn't he? Look at this. There they are. So I'm like, is the Oval? Oh, yeah, I'll show you. And then not only that, right, but he set up a game between the Netherlands and Ireland, of course, two countries, that I lived in. But MV, just poor guy, he accidentally, so the stream goes out, right? The Netherlands Ireland game is about to start, and of course I'm rooting for Ireland, and somehow it stops. Once he gets it back on, he accidentally silenced me on the channel, and he's like freaking out, like, Beatles, where are you? And I'm typing, I'm here. So he said, oh, finally said, I'm gonna have to get together with you and figure out how to do this and all that. So poor MV, but definitely check it out. It's interesting. So oh yeah, right, same here, Carlos. That's the only time I've heard about, people complain about Canada is from Canadians. Yeah, exactly. And I won't get World's Worst Gamer upset by mentioning their PM. There we go. World's Worst Gamer says, my ex-wife found it weird that everyone in his city was obsessed with having bridge fries. We have many fried trucks under the bridge and gather there to watch boats go by more. Oh, yeah. No, so that's something that you find in a lot of American cities. So I'm actually surprised that she would be find that people's obsession with that. I know that a lot of cities with especially those with lots of bridges have that. So yeah, man, that's another thing. I miss some good like French fries, from truck stands and stuff like that, man. And it's kind of funny. You go to a gourmet restaurant, and I'm getting hungry thinking about this stuff. And frequently, right? I mean, the best food that you order, in like Italian restaurants, things like that. This was peasant food. I'm like going like, you're $20 for a bowl of what we said pasta fazool, which is actually pasta fagioli, but every Italian calls it pasta fazool, right? And I'm thinking, this is what Italians, right? Because my family's from southern Italy and Sicily, the Italian side, right? And so this is what all the stuff, right, that the grandma, grandpa, or mom was making all week. Pasta fazool, with the beans and everything. This is what you made at the end of the week to use up all the leftovers and stuff. Like pasta fazool is awesome, by the way. Put some red pepper on there. Get yourself some good artisan bread, a nice glass of vino, and vita bella, amici miei. But it just cracks me up, and people are like, and it's wasps that do this. It's wasps, and you guys know what I mean by wasps, right? And there's like the wasps, oh, this is so good. And I'm thinking, Baron, Manage, Mamma Mia, this is what we had all the time. This is like, right? It's like, you guys don't know what you're missing. Or like Savoy cabbage, which is another great Italian dish. And if we have our convention next year, I'm gonna do a little bit of real Italian cooking, guys, because real Italian cooking isn't pizza and meatball sandwiches and stuff like that. I make you guys some Savoy cabbage, man. You make that up with the beans and everything, and you drizzle some nice first pressing good virgin olive oil on it, and oh man, it'll be great. And then we're gonna drink some good Irish beer. What do you think? that works. For Cousin Ken, I think Guinness is coming out with an alcohol-free stout. I'm not sure, but anyhow, we'll get there. But it's so funny, man. You go to any restaurant, and the best foods were always these were peasant dishes. And it's like, are you kidding me, right? One restaurant I went to, they did, so like my mom would make all the time, like fried hot peppers with tomatoes and garlic and everything like that. And oh my God. And they charge a fortune. Or greens and beans is another one, man. You just take all kinds of greens and beans and garlic and all these great Italian spices, do them up in olive oil, drizzle them up with a bit of lemon, buddy, and you are good to go. And you're going to get charged $15 for that as an appetizer. And you know what? So you go to these little hole in the wall mom and pop Italian restaurants where they still speak Italian, buddy, and you can get this stuff if you don't give a damn. And you know the cheap ass paper, you know, like those paper placemats they put down with all the, you know, all the advertisements and everything. Man, just have your pasta fazool and your you know, Savoy cabbage and fried peppers and beans and greens and all this good stuff there in those places, and you don't have to worry about breaking the bank. So, Chef Boyardee, he was real, yeah. Boyardee was actually his name, and he was, I believe, the White House chef under Theodore Roosevelt. So yeah, Boyardee is actually how you say his name. Carlos says, a friend of mine a trip to Italy years ago. He didn't want to go, but his wife pushed him. He was surprised. The food, enjoyed it very much. So, oh yeah, well, hey, I'll make that too. You know, pasta with real garlic cloves. So we call that poor man's pasta. But yeah, man, you do it up with olive oil and garlic cloves. Real simple dish and real good. But now the thing about Italy, though, is it's like two separate countries. Not only with political leanings and that, but the food. So if you're in Firenze, Venezia, Milano, right? The food is very, very different than if you're in Bari, you know, or Palermo or Siracusa, right? So in the south of Italy and in Sicily, the food is spicier. There's less of a dependence on sort of dairy products and things like that, and it's lighter, right? Because it's poorer, and there's not much meat. There's a lot of seafood in southern Italian and Sicilian cooking traditionally. Now again, you go to the north, you go north of Rome, north of the Po River, whatever, and you're in Milano, Firenze, Venezia, whatever. Then it's more of the heavier cream sauces and the bruschettas and things like that. It was really funny because growing up, I never had polenta. Polenta's a northern Italian thing, right? And polenta, I love polenta, but never had polenta. And then, you know, over there, I was living there, and Italian folks, my ex-girlfriend's dad was Italian, and he's making polenta, and I said, Maron, I said, it smells so good. He said, well, you're Italian, this is polenta. And I said, but, you know, I said, my family's from southern Italy. He said, oh, yeah, you guys don't eat that down there. I said, yeah, well, so in northern Italy, they don't do like fried peppers and stuff like that, the hot dishes that we have in the south. So, you know, my first thing with northern Italian food and all this creamy and heavy stuff, I'm like, wow, but so good. Italian cooking is, I'm biased, but I would say among the top three cuisines in the world, Italian food is certainly one of them. Yeah, so it is, but it's yeah, yeah, pesto, garlic, fresh. Oh yeah, and everything's got to be fresh. And man, if you go to have, I know we're supposed to be doing baseball here, and we will, but I'll tell you what, and Ken, you'll know this because when you lived, right, when you lived in Italy, right, so you know, you go to an Italian home, and if it's an old Italian grandma and she's cooking, do not, like, if they're offering you seconds or thirds, don't refuse. I mean, that's like the kiss of death right there. Because they'll guilt trip you, the old Italian grandmas, right? They'll say, What's the matter you? You no like my cooking? Huh? What? Look, you have to eat, huh? What? Do you no like? I make it something else. No, 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 no. It's just that I'm. And right as soon as you say no, no, it's fine. Boom, dude. There is like a Mount Everest or K2 sized pile of food on your plate, dude. And can you know this? And I think this is the same for the Portuguese as well. And right is that for us, food isn't like just. It's not something you. It's not like just something you eat. It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration La Familia, right? So, but yeah, man, never say no. And I would make that mistake. And remember, guys, I'm half Italian. I'm the son of immigrants, right? The whole thing. I'd be at my grandparents, and I'm like, oh, grandma, that was so good. Good, you have a Simone Giuseppe. I'm like, no, no, grandma, I'm for. What do you not like? You like every time I make it before free. Why you not like it now? No, grandma, I'm fine. It is so good. It's just that, boom, and there we go. Yep, gotta know respect, huh? Yeah, what's the matter you? Exactly. Man, so if you guys are ever invited to an Italian home for dinner, do not turn down food. Oh my, yeah, eat Santa eat, right? Exactly, exactly. And I think at least every Italian kid or a kid of Italian descent watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer totally got that. Because, right, so an Italian home, you could be like, you could weigh 350 kilos or pounds or whatever you want to call it, right? And it doesn't matter to the old grandmas, you got to eat. Look at you, you're wasting away. You're going to die. You got to eat or something. Here you go. Boom. And it's like, wow. It's just nuts. I love it. But hey, who can turn down? Yep, bringing back warm memories. How about it, man? You know? And I'm glad, at least for me, that I learned a lot of things from from my grandparents and others, how to cook these traditional dishes, and I'm so glad I did. Um, but that being said, being here and people, that not close friends, right? But just friends will say, "Oh yeah, we went out, we had Italian last night." Oh, where'd you go? Olive Garden. I'm like, "Oh, I thought you said you went out to have Italian." And they like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, that's not Italian food. It's not. That's like saying I don't even know what the analog would be in another cuisine or something, but sorry, man, Olive Garden is about as Italian as a guy whose last name is Schwartzberger or something. It is not Italian, man. Jeez. So we used to hang the fresh pasta in a small rack. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, do I remember that? Yep. I know Todd talking about Goodfellas, right? Even the guys in Goodfellas had to eat with. Oh yeah, exactly, man. Because she looks at Henry Hill and she says, "What's the matter, Henry? You don't eat much. You don't talk much." So, and Ken, bringing back another memory, again, around an Italian table, it is not people eating politely and quietly. It's noisy. It's raucous. There's laughter. There's arguments. There's the bafangustunad, right? But you're having fun. And yeah, it's great. And the table's groaning. Christmas Eve in an Italian home, bringing back good memories for me too. Christmas Eve, man, and the tables are groaning with homemade cookies, with the biscotti and the the pizzelle, right? The waffle cookies and all that kind of stuff. Oh my God, do I miss it? Yeah, we all talk. Right now, Todd, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking with my hands. I'm talking with my hands. But the bizarre thing about that is my Irish side, they talk with their hands too. And so I don't know. I think so. There's a term called Black Irish, and I think that's what my family is on the other side, because the Irish side of my family looks more Italian than the Italian side of my family. So I have green eyes, and I got that from the Italian side, not the Irish side. Most of my Irish relatives have brown eyes, so I think I'm Black Irish or Black Irishman, whatever the term is. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a bad thing to say, but I've always heard that term, Black Irish. So who knows? The length of the dinner. Oh, they do go on forever. They go on forever. Yep. Drive through 5 minutes. No, my God. So Christmas Eve, man, you know, I remember. So we get to the grandparents maybe about 3, 4 in the afternoon at the latest, and that's it. Everything midnight, dinner was still going, everything was still going on. It was just crazy. And then after midnight, so here's the funny thing, right? So I was raised Catholic. I'm Orthodox now, but which is still fairly close, right? Close enough. So what they would do is they'd have a poker game going on, and this used to crack me up even as a kid. At 10 o'clock, they would all put their money down and the cards down and all this kind of stuff, and they'd go off to midnight mass. So they come back from, because that's a big thing in the Catholic Church, right? Or it used to be. They don't have midnight mass too much anymore, I guess. I don't know. Anyhow, they come home from midnight mass. Then all the grandkids, everybody open their presents, and then the adults, boom, out eating more. Like it's like Italians or hobbits. I don't know if J.R.R. Tolkien knew many Italians, but I am convinced that hobbits are at least partially based on Italians. And then they would just go right back to playing poker again. It was like insane. It was just insane. Oh my God. So, oh yeah, absolutely. Todd B saying that his cousin said that too. He was dating a girl and it was 7 entrees before the main dish. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Um, oh my God, I don't even know what got me on this. I'm supposed to be doing baseball logos. Anyhow, so let me continue. I don't even know if we'll get a game in now. I'm fine, but you guys are good. We've already. I don't know, man. But I love. What are you guys, man? Somebody. I mean, let's not make this Italian hour. I mean, it's not like we're the only cool. Certainly not. Yeah. So, what do you guys remember about maybe about your ethnicities? And I know not everybody here may be son of immigrants or are immigrants or whatever. But if you remember, do you remember anything about sort of your culture, your things, growing up? I don't care. It'd be really, really nice. So, well, yeah, it did start. Oh yeah, World Italian Man Midnight Mass. So when I became Orthodox, and the one thing that points me about, yeah, German and beer. There you go. Yeah, the thing about when I became Orthodox was like, what? Wait a minute, our Christmas, the Christmas Vespers is like 7 a.m. or 7 in the evening, and it was one thing that Orthodox priests do say that it's like, yeah, our sister church, the Catholics, they got that right. It's the service is supposed to be at midnight, but Orthodoxy in America is kind of like, well, people want to be home, blah 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 blah. But I remember the whole midnight mass thing. But the fact that they're playing poker, which again, Catholics don't consider you know, playing poker. It's not a sin or anything, but it used to just crack me up that it was like every year, man. Then they go to church, you take communion, of course, and stuff like that, because that's what you do. And then you come home, open the gifts, and then boom, out goes the cards. And so later on, when I started doing sleight of hand magic, my family wouldn't let me play poker with them anymore because they were afraid I'd cheat them. You believe that? Terrible. The world's worst gamer says, I saw beer flavored cotton candy tonight when shopping at the sweet store, but passed. We'll try that another time. Wow. Your grandfather wasn't allowed beer until he turned 5. So growing up, we were always like, we were allowed to it was always like beer, wine. My family made wine. So, and the rationale was we'd rather have you, instead of like, forbid you from it. I mean, it's part of our culture anyhow. And it was the same in the Irish side that, right? So you already know what it tastes like, this and that. So that way, all of a sudden, you turn 18, you turn 19, and you want to go out and you try your first wine, your first beer, whatever, and then you get drunk, you get hurt, you get in an accident. And so, I remember as a little kid, be maybe 6, 7 years old, something like that. You get your little cup of wine, man, and it was good, you know. And So good memories. I'm glad we still have all those great memories. Carlos, I was gonna. So you're German. So with beer. So German food, right? German food is. I've tried some German food because I lived next door to Germany. So, yep, kids at the table drinking wine like it's iced tea. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, some people are like horrified. They're like, I mean, at one time, and again, Ken, you know this because you lived in Europe. At one time, right? So in Germany, since now we're talking about Germany, if you could reach the bar, you could drink beer. If you could reach the bar, you couldn't drink hard liquor, but you could drink beer. And I'm like in America, and I'm not trying to piss anybody off. This is just an observation. So in America, you can't drink until you're 21 years old, but you can get killed in a war when you're 18, and that makes no sense to me. So there's, you know what? There's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong. Say your kid, you know, have a glass of wine every once in a while. I think it's good. It doesn't make you a bloody alcoholic at all. You know, it might make you a madman like me, but anyhow. All right, looks like these are done. Let me just make sure I did high socks for the Pirates too. Yep. All right, good. We're all done. Let's go to the schedule and let's find a game to play opening day. Finally. Oh my goodness gracious. So we're gonna have some mixes with the dead ball guys are going to be mixing it up with the 19th century guys. I'm going to try to find just 2 dead ball games to play, just because of the ballparks right now. So let's go to scores. All right, so here's what's on offer. And I thought today was opening day, so apparently we must have done a couple, and I forgot all about it. All right, so we can pick here, guys. Sticking with dead ball. We can do 1907 Tigers against the 1919 Reds. That would be Ed Seaver, Jimmy Ring. Meh. 1902 Pirates versus the 1918 Yankees. Deacon Philippe, Ray Caldwell. We got the here could be a good one. Wait, no, I found it. How about the 1915 Phillies and the 1905 Giants? Grover Cleveland, Alexander versus Christy Mathewson. I think that's the game. So Carlos said he had his first drink at age 13. Yeah, man. So the drinking age went to 18 in 1972. Yeah. And actually, when I was in Holland, it used to be for beer, it was 16. And in wine and hard liquors, it was 18. And then, because I remember my stepdaughter, right? And then Holland raised it to 21, so she was really pissed off about that. And it was retroactive. All right, a good one. Let's do this. Phillies Giants. Opening day. All right, and where are we playing here today? The Polo Grounds. Of course we are. All right, I love this old Phillies logo. I absolutely just love it. All right, let's do the lineups here. And you guys know we're doing the 1915 series, so everything's going to sound familiar here. Leading off in center field for the Philadelphia Phillies, Possum Witted batting second at shortstop, Dave Bancroft. Batting in the third slot, Fred Luderus. Batting cleanup, Gavy Kravitz. Entering the season with a bit of an injury, so probably should have cleared out the injuries, but I think Gavy will be okay. Batting fifth in left field, Bills Becker. Batting sixth, third baseman Milt Stock. Batting seventh and catching, Rabbit Bill Killefer. Batting eighth, second baseman Bert Niehoff. And taking the opening day honors here on the road for the Philadelphia Phillies, Grover Cleveland Alexander. So we'll worry about his past record. And my God, I don't have a picture for him. That sucks. I got to find one. All right, for the New York Giants, leading off at third base, Art Devlin. Batting second, left fielder Sam Mertes. Batting third in center field, Mike Donlin. Batting cleanup at first base, Dan McGann. Batting fifth at shortstop, Bad Bill Dolan. Batting sixth and catching, Roger Bresnahan. Batting seventh at second base, Sammy Strang. Batting eighth, right fielder George Brown. And pitching and batting ninth, Big Six, Christy Mathewson. Let's get to the game. Yeah, Possum Witted. That was it. That was his name. Okay, and looks like I forgot to set my sound settings because I'm not hearing anything. Alright, that's better. Let me just fix this a bit. And let's switch up our view a little bit. Yeah, we'll go with the overview camera for everything. That looks pretty good. So again, this ballpark, a very early Polo Grounds. And courtesy of the hard work of Michael Silva. We're about to do our pan around here, but Possum Lidded step in as Christy Mathewson finishes warm-up pitches, and welcome to opening day of the Castro McGregor Legends League, which is not, it's not doing the pan around. Here we go. And showing bunt, here we go. Possum Lidded gets it down, and Mathewson fielding it off the mound and fires on to Dan McGann at first. So 1 up, 1 down, and we're underway. And here is Dave Beauty Bancroft, Hall of Fame shortstop. Maddie has the sign from the Duke of Tralee, Roger Bresnahan, and the 1-1 pitch to Bancroft. Bancroft swinging on this one, base hit into right field. So Bancroft has the season's first hit. So Philadelphia with a man aboard and 1 down, and here is first baseman Fred Luderis. Good contact, good power. Mathewson checks Bancroft at first. The 0-1 delivery. Swung on. Luderis sends this to center field. Should be an easy play out there, and indeed it is. Turkey Mike Donlin making the catch. 2 down. Bancroft remains at first. Here's Gavy Kravitz now. Excellent power, batting in the cleanup spot. Mathewson deals to Kravitz the 3-2. The runner off at the pitch, of course. High fly ball, and this is going to bounce to the wall. Kravitz is going to have himself an RBI double, and Kravitz is going for 3. Kravitz is coming home, and it looks like we have an inside the park home run. Indeed we do. So 2 in for the Philadelphia Phillies on the inside the park home run by Gavy Kravitz. Let's just look at it as a regular replay, because there we go. Big ballpark here. As you guys know, they actually played polo in this park, so you needed the room. So pretty nice to see an inside the park home run on opening day, as Cousin Ken says, yes, Phillies. There's a Legend Sports Universe. Legends, how you doing? What's this saying? A puke bucket? What is he talking about here? Something puke bucket list, blah, 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 blah. And Todd B says Kravitz didn't do much of that for him in McGreevy. Legends hopes things are going well, and I guess we're nearing baseball again on your channel here, another week or two, I'm hoping. All right, here's Beals Becker now. Phillies tallying 2 here in the top of the first. Mathewson with the 3-1 delivery to Becker. And the lefty swings, grounded to second. And this will be routine for Sammy Strang as he fires on to first, retiring Beals Becker and the side. But the Philadelphia Phillies of 1915 pick up 2 runs and 2 hits. There are no errors, nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the first, the 1915 Phillies 2 and the 1905 New York Giants coming to bat. Art Devlin to lead it off here against Grover Cleveland Alexander. So hopefully we're going to get a pitcher's duel out of this. We'll see. The 3-2 pitch now to Devlin. Devlin pops this one in foul territory, right-hand side, back toward the backstop. And Rabbit Bill Killiver making the catch. So 1 up, 1 down as left fielder Sam Murdy steps in. Murdy's with decent contact, pretty good power. Alexander has the sign from Killifer. Full count on Sam Murdy's. Here's the twirl. Murdy's sends this one lazy fly ball to left field and ranging to his left, and making the catch is Beals Becker for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here for the Giants in the bottom of the first. And one of my favorite players of all time of this era, Turkey Mike Donlin, sometime film star and pretty damn good baseball player too. Alexander with the 2-2 pitch now to Donlin. Donlin swings. This one grounded hard to short, but up with it in plenty of time is Milt Stock, who fires on to Luteris for out number 3. The Phillies dispatch the Giants in order. We go to the top of the second. Philadelphia 2 and the New York Giants nothing. Let's check in with Legends. He says, yes, sir, maybe push back a week. Player creation taking a bit and having a lot of, lost a lot of time to real life endeavors. Totally get it. Taking your kids back to university. Get it. So target for opening day, guys, is 8 September, but it may go into the following week. So anywhere between 8 and 15 December or something like that. Good. He did record the top 10 games of the Franchise Stars Baseball League postseason video tonight, so that will premiere sometime this weekend. Looking forward. All right. Excellent. And Todd asking Legends if we'll be sharing that creation. Burt Blyleven ejected in your action PC game today. What did Burt do besides be a Dutchman? What did he do, huh? Milt Stock leads it off here for the Phillies, followed by Killefer Niehoff. Stock ready to go. Big Six has the sign and the 2-1 pitch to Milt Stock. Stock swings, and this one wrapped into left field, base hit. So the Phillies coming out swinging against Christie. Third hit of the day, and we're just in the top of the second inning, and here's Bill Killefer now. Killefer, average contact hitter. Milt Stock, decent speed. If the ball's put in play, he can take off. An okay base stealer. Mathewson deals. Here's the 2-1. Swung on. Base hit right field. And, I mean, Matty's getting shelled here in dead ball terms. Going to third, and a bad throw from right field. Milt Stock is going to come around to score. And the Philadelphia Phillies have just picked up their third run on the E9. And we're going to look at that one again. George Brown's throw getting by Devlin at third. And this one deserves a super stats replay. How about that? So Mathewson not responsible for this run. The throw to, and yep, this one's going to roll all the way over toward the grandstands and coming home to score is Killefer. Or Killefer not coming in to score. I'm sorry, Luteris scoring. Or Milt Stock scoring. Whomever scored. Anyhow. It's 3-0 Phillies, and that's what's important. All right. Sometimes I get lost. Here's Burt Niehoff now. Keystone sacker for the Phillies. 3-0, top of the second. Mathewson getting shelled. The 1-2 pitch. And if things aren't bad enough for the man from Factoryville, Pennsylvania, the man in blue is calling a balk. 2 umpires today, since it's opening day. And this league is set to 1900, by the way, normalized to 1900. All right, here is the 1-2 pitch to Niehoff. Niehoff, a little slapper to short, and making the play is Dolan to McGann for the 6-3 putout. Killefer remains a third, 1 down for Pete Alexander. Matty from the stretch in the 0-1, and Alexander, long fly ball to center field, and Alexander's going to have himself a run batted in. Killefer tags, and he comes in the Philadelphia Phillies out to a 4-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. D. Scott Howard here at the Polo Grounds with us. And for D. Scott, still a bit early for him. It is, 9:30 for D. Scott. So still Friday for him. This is an uncharacteristically rough start for Christy Mathewson. All right, here's Possum Witted now, batting with the bases empty. And what a fun nickname that is. Matty's 1-0 delivery. Witted swings, softly hit out to center field. Running in hard and making the catch is Mike Donlin. Side retired, but the damage has been done, baseball fans. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and nobody left. Pardon me. And the Phillies extend their lead to 4-0. Going to go off mic for 1 second. Be right back. And back on. All right. It'll be Dan McGann, Bad Bill Dahlin, and Roger Bresnahan due up for the Giants, bottom of the second. Alexander with the 1-1 delivery. McGann cuts on this one, and this one gapped into left a long way in this big ballpark. So McGann at least going to have a double, and that's where he is going to stop. So the New York Giants of 1905 pick up their first hit on the McGann double. And coming to the plate is Bad Bill Dahlin, a chance here for New York to try to tally one against these Phillies, who have crooked numbers in the first 2 innings. Alexander with the 2-2 pitch to Dahlin. Dahlin swing and a miss on the curveball. Strike 3. Hang up a K for old Pete, who is not old yet. And here is Roger Bresnahan. All right, so the Hall of Fame catcher stands in. Old Pete delivers to the Duke of Trey Lee, full count. And this one popped high in the infield. Alexander ranging over toward first, but calling for it and making the catch is Fred Luderis. So that's out number 2. McGann, with his excellent speed, can go nowhere in the infield fly rule. 2 away, and here's Sammy Strang. Sammy Strang has some pop in his bat, at least in dead ball terms. Alexander deals the 1-1 to Strang. And Strang indeed sends this out to right field. And this one's going to get all the way to the wall. Sammy Strang with an RBI. Looks like it's going to be a triple. Strang will slide into third with the RBI triple. So we've seen 2 of my favorite hits in this game today. A triple and an inside the park home run. So New York on the board now. It's 4-1, bottom of the second. Doesn't look like it's going to be a pitcher's duel, cranks and cranklets, and we'll pretend there are cranklets here. Sammy Strang at third with excellent speed. Here's George Brown. George Brown, a throw getting by him, so would like to certainly redeem himself. George Brown making that bad throw from right field. Alexander from the stretch, and the 1-1. Brown slaps this one to short, ranging far to his left and making the quick throw is Beauty Bancroft, showing why he's a Hall of Famer. So side retired, but the Gothams score 1 run on 2 hits and a runner left. It's 4-1 as we head to the top of the 3rd inning, and it will be Bancroft, Luderis, and Kravitz due up for the Phillies. And again, Cousin Ken, you'll be seeing some 19th century here once I can get some of those ballparks in that Michael told me about that are on the Out of the Park forums for 19th century, or that would work, he feels, for 19th century. So, and unfortunately, I didn't force all these to be day games, so just pretend it's not dark in New York. All right, here is Beauty Bancroft, 1 for 1 now. He's second in the order, so the number 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Phils. Mathewson has yet to strike out a batter. Full count to Bancroft, and base hit in the first, and he walks now. So Mathewson issues his first free pass. Matty is not at all sharp, and John McGraw keeping a close eye on his ace. Here's Fred Luderis. 0-1. Bancroft, good lead off first. Matty has the sign from Bresnahan. Here's the pitch, and the runner is off to the races, and Bancroft is gunned down. Great play by Roger Bresnahan. So the caught stealing empties the bases. Luderis now batting with nobody on, and the 1-2 pitch flew out his last time up, and a swing and a miss. And that was the famous, what we call a screwball, and Christy Mathewson and Rube Foster, who taught it to him, referred it to as the fadeaway. So Matty finally goes to the fadeaway, picks up the strikeout, his first of the game. Here is future judge Gabby Kravitz. Inside the park home run for Gabby, last time up. Matty deals with 2 down. Kravitz swings on the first pitch, and this one is going to be a liner to right, and a great diving catch by George Brown, redeeming himself absolutely. Side retired, no runs on just a walk for the Philadelphia Phillies of 1915. It's still 4-1 Philadelphia. We're going to take another look here at that great play by George Brown in right field for the Giants, as some people call them. Great play. And holding up the glove saying, I have me a snow cone, baseball fans. All right. So Matty steps in now. Alexander to deal to Mathewson. Mathewson swinging on the first pitch. Hard ground ball to short. Bobbled out there by Dave Bancroft. And the scorer is going to give Bancroft an infield hit. Or Mathewson the infield hit. Looked like Bancroft dropped the ball, but the scorer saying that probably wouldn't have been able to make that play. So Matty aboard, and we're back at the top of the order for the Gothams and Art Devlin, who's nothing for one. Alexander checks Mathewson at first. Mathewson had some speed. Very, very athletic, was a star in a number of sports at Bucknell University, at that time Bucknell College. Got to see Christie's grave. Bucknell not too terribly far from where I'm staying right now. Here's the pitch to Art Devlin, showing bunt, and misses. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and he gets the bunt down. It's a good one. Alexander's only play will be to Luderus at first. And Matty moves to second on the sacrifice, and left fielder Sam Murties comes up to bat. Here's the pitch. This 1-1 popped high on the infield, and waiting for it to come down and making the catch is Bancroft. So 2 away, Matty in scoring position for Turkey Mike Donlin, who's nothing for one. Alexander with the 1-2 delivery. Donlin looks at a called strike 3 inside corner. So the Giants pick up a hit, leave a runner in scoring position. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Philadelphia 4, New York 1. Beals Becker, Milt Stock, and Rabbit Killiford due up for the representatives, the National League representatives of the city of brotherly love. At some point, we will see these 1950 Phillies, or 1915 Phillies later in the season square off against the 1910 Philadelphia Athletics, and that's going to be a fun one. All right, Becker is nothing for one. Matty deals to him. Becker grounds out his last time up, and this time pops this one in the third base side foul, giving chase. A lot of room here at the Polo Grounds, and making the play is Roger Bresnahan. So 1 up, 1 down now for Phillies third baseman Milt Stock, who is 1 for 1. Mathewson deals full count on Milt Stock, who singled his last time up. Stock swings, and this will be, as legend calls it, a dunker. So this gets down for a base hit in front of Mike Donlin. So Milt Stock aboard, and it brings up Rabbit Killer for 1 for 1. Stock has some good speed. Will there be a hit and run or a stolen base attempt? Runner does not go. Mathewson deals, grounded to short, and they are not going to turn 2. So Milt Stock with a hard slide upends Strang. So 2 down, Killiford first on the fielder's choice as Bert Niehoff steps in. The 0-1 from Mathewson. Niehoff swinging on the first pitch. Oh, what a stop at third, but unable to hold on to the ball. Bill Donlin going all the way to the right. So Niehoff tearing down the line. Infield hit. So a lot of speed on the board, on the base pads here for Philadelphia. Killiford and Niehoff with incredible speed. But here's old Pete. So has an RBI. 2 down, 2 on, 4-1 Philadelphia lead, top of the 4th. Matty deals. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And Pete swings, and this will be a 4-3 putout, easily scooped up by Sammy Strang, and fires on to Dan McGann. So side retired. The Phillies strand 2, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Phillies 4 and the Giants 1. Here in this Castro McGregor Legends League, or whatever it is I called it. This is not McGreevy. This is not McGreevy 2-0 or whatever. This is just something fun while getting McGreevy ready and playing Shanks and all the other stuff. All right, Dan McGann, 1 for 1 to be followed by Bad Bill Donlin and Roger Bresnahan. Grover Cleveland Alexander with 2 strikeouts deals the 1-1 pitch to Dan McGann, who doubled his last time up. McGann lines this to right, and right into the glove of a hustling Gabby Kravis. So 1 up, 1 down for Bad Bill Donlin, and that is a bad agent there. Donlin nothing for 1. Alexander deals the 1-2 to Bad Bill. Donlin swings. This one softly hit to right, and measuring it and making the catch It's the Gabby Kravitz show in right field. 2 up, 2 down for the Duke of Tralee. He is nothing for one. Count even. Bresnahan popped out his last time up and strikes out this time. So the Giants go in order, and we head to the top of the 5th inning. It's still Philadelphia 4 and the New York Giants 1. And it'll be the top of the order for the Phillies. Possum Witted, Dave Bancroft, and Fred Luteris. Just have a quick look here at the weather here at the Polo Grounds today. It is partly cloudy on opening day. Rather chilly, 36 degrees, and a bit of a wind going out to center at 11 miles per hour. So the Gothamites here bundled up as Possum Witted steps in. Nothing for 2 against Mathewson. Here's the pitch. And Witted swings. This one line to left field. And nice play by Sam Murdy's on that bit of a rope out there to left. So 1 up, 1 down for Dave Bancroft. 1 for 1. And the lefty shortstop swings. Slow roller to second. Gloving it and making the play. Sammy Strang on the 4-3 putouts. So 2 away for Fred Luteris. Nothing for 2. Phillies would like to see him get on. Luteris with excellent speed. Ludicrous speed, maybe. Here's the pitch. And this one, line to right. And once again, this time George Brown just making it look routine. 3 up, 3 down for Philadelphia. Bottom of the 5th. And the score still remains 4-1. So Philadelphia, 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second. The Giants, 1 lone run in the second. And that is your scoring on this game thus far. Sound's going to cut out for 1 second. All right, and back on. There we go. Had to rearrange a secondary screen. Sammy Strang steps in now, followed by George Brown and Christy Mathewson. 9 hits for these teams. Just 1 error in this game thus far, committed by George Brown, right fielder for the New York Giants. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, so Sammy Strang will go down on strikes and chasing a curveball out of the zone. You know, George Brown, as he walks to the plate now, a lot of people would think that McGraw might have fined him or something, but a lot of John McGraw's players said that he was very, very fair, always supported his ball players, and he said he would never fine anybody for any sort of physical errors on the field. But McGraw insisted that all his players knew the inside game, knew baseball inside and out, and had to follow his orders. As you guys know, we've talked about McGraw fining a player for hitting a home run when McGraw called for a bunt. But his players all said, to a man, all the people talked to that played for McGraw through his great, great career. In my estimation, maybe the greatest manager in all of baseball history, that it was mental lapses. And if McGraw thought that you were off, you could get fined for talking to players on other teams, things like that. But it was really mental lapses. And then they said, Mr. McGraw would come down on you hard. All right, so George Brown, he's gonna hold on to a portion. He's gonna hold on to his paycheck, as that was not a lapse, just a bad throw. The 2-1 pitch now to Brown. Brown swings, and this one line to left, ranging back on this ball, carrying a little bit, is Beals Becker. So Becker making the play. 2 away now for Christy Mathewson. He's 1 for 1, so doing better at the bat than he is on the hill. The 1-1 pitch to Big Six. Matty swings, and this will be a base hit left field. So Mathewson 2 for 2 today. Let's see if Mathewson goes for 2. Yep, he will, and he'll slide in with a 2-out double. So Beals Becker getting to the ball quickly, but Mathewson, as we talked about before, very athletic, excellent speed, get into second. And, of course, the Polo Grounds, short left and right field porches, but super, super deep way out there in center field. All right. So the Irishman Artie Devlin steps in now. He is 0 for 1. Alexander deals the full count. And Devlin sends this one down to third base, and this one isn't going to be close. Milt Stock making the strong throw across the diamond to retire the side. So the Giants leave one in scoring position. We go to the 6th. Game moving along quickly. And it is 4-1 Philadelphia. Gavy, Kravitz, Beals, Becker, Miltstock. So D. Scott Howard says that he's very, very busy with his pet sitting projects. Glad to hear it. All right, Mathewson has given up a walk and a strikeout, but touched up for 4 runs. Matty ready to deal now to Kravitz. The 2-1 pitch, the wind, and Kravitz swings. Weak pop-up on the infield. And calling for it and making the catch is Dan McGann. So nice curveball by Mathewson. Mathewson, I believe, called his curve a drop ball. Bills Becker now 0-for-2. Matty with the 1-2 pitch. Here's the wind. Becker swings. This one popped in the infield. Third base slide in foul territory, and making the catch is Art Devlin. 2 up, 2 down, and Mathewson wishes he had those first 2 innings back. And Matty's starting to look a bit more like the Matty that we know. Just waving hello there to Huey Fullerton, who is covering today's game. Christy Mathewson with the 1-1 pitch. Miltstock swings. This one a little flare into right. And hustling in and making it a nice catch is George Brown. So the Phillies go down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's the Phillies 4 and the Giants 1. So haven't heard from Steve Tate. Need to check the Discord. So it's either tomorrow in the daytime or tomorrow night is opening day for Shanks 3.0. That's going to be broadcast on Steve Tate's channel. So for those of you who have a team in it, I wish you the best going forward. If it's in the daytime, I'll be there hanging out, heckling whomever. And if at night, I'll miss it, but I'll be catching it on the flip side. And hope you guys will enjoy it again. Most of the season is going to be simmed out. I'll be doing a few broadcasts. Dwayne Martz will be doing some. Bernie Strom will be doing a few. MV a couple. Steve a couple. And we'll get through it quickly. Everybody's already talking about the next draft, which will probably be in 2 to 3 weeks. So, again, have fun and, yeah, let's see what happens, man. Back to game action now for Sam Murdy's. So, World's Worst Gamer got his in. Todd B said he's going to call it a night. Good night, my friend. Sleep well. As we say in Italian, buonanotte. And World's Worst Gamer says he's glad he got his manager file in. It's pretty easy to put together. Glad to hear it, man. Hope your team does well. I've heard you got a good team. Carlos Yaz listened to his Cubs lose today to the Pirates. Go Bucks. I like the Cubs, but I'm a Bucco fan, so go Bucks. Your Cubs are having a pretty good season, all things considered. Now you just gotta take care of the damn Brewers. Bah. All right, Cleveland or Alexander to face Sam Mertes, Mike Donlin, and Dan McGann. And here is the wind in the pitch, and Mertes a little weak grounder to second, and all Bert Niehoff can do is just glove the ball and hang on to it. Mertes, combination of just a really slow grounder that gets by Alexander. Niehoff having to charge into the ball, coupled with Mertes' excellent speed. So the Giants with a runner aboard, and here comes Mike Donlin. It's Turkey Mike 0-for-2. Excellent contact hitter. Here's the pitch, and off goes the runner, and Mertes is gunned down by Killefer. So the Giants getting bitten by the caught stealing bug, it seems. So Donlin now batting with 1 out, bases empty. Alexander deals. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Donlin swings. This one line to right and into the glove of Gravy Kravitz. So 2 up, 2 down, and Alexander just bringing the goods here today. Here's Dan McGann now 1-for-2. 2-1 pitch. Flied out to right his last time up, and this one high fly ball, and where the hell did it go? Where did it go, man? We're gonna have to look at the replay because, oh my God, that went out to very, very, very deep right center. So Dan McGann with a triple. I lost the shadow of the ball, so it went out there somewhere. All right, 2 down McGann, 90 feet away, and here is Bad Bill Dolan. Alexander with the 1-2. Dolan looks at a called strike 3. Oh my God. There were 2 base runners in the inning. One was cut down. The Giants leave one. We go to the 7th, and the Phillies leading 4-1. Nathaniel Lentz joining us in the ballpark. We got to see Nathaniel earlier today in the Christopher Slovic semi-extravaganza. Chris was so awesome today to come on and do that. So yeah, the Cubbies fighting for a wild card spot. Pirates and Reds pretty much out of it, but we will do our best to try to spoil against Milwaukee. I think Cincinnati probably has a better chance than we do, although we'll see. O'Neill Cruz is not quite back with us yet, which is kind of hard. All right, here is Rabbit Bill Killer for Bert Niehoff and Pete Alexander to bat here in the 7th. And again, what's surprising me thus far, Mathewson has settled down since the 2nd inning, but Matty not looking sharp. But again, this is just game 1. So here we go. Mathewson deals to the Rabbit, and Killefer sends this one to center field. Charging in and making a running catch is Mike Donlin. So 1 up, 1 down. One of the weird things you'll notice about Out of the Park baseball, and I don't know if Bernie is still here, why I don't pay attention to this except for reference is because clearly you saw Mike Donlin running in the play-by-play that he was running back. So I don't read that unless I need to see what the hell happened. All right, Matty to deal now to Bert Niehoff. He is 1 for 2. Third base in a little bit, but Niehoff, hard grounder, diving stop at short, and the throwing error. Niehoff is going to go to second. So Bad Bill Dolan making the bad throw. Second error for the New York Giants. This one getting by Dan McGann, and Bert Niehoff finds himself in scoring position. And if Grover Cleveland Alexander just puts a blooper out there somewhere, Niehoff's going to score. Incredible speed. Alexander, nothing for 1 with a run batted in. The 0-1 pitch. Alexander, hard ground ball to second, and fielding it to Sammy Strang, firing on to Dan McGann for the 4-3 putout. 2 down. Bert Niehoff perched at third. Possible Phillies 5th run, 90 feet away. Leadoff hitter, Possum Witted, frustrated, nothing for 3, standing in the box. Christy Mathewson to twirl, the 3-2 count, and a little number out in front of the plate. Possum Witted tearing down the line and picks up the infield single. It's an RBI. Possum Witted looks like he's sort of limping around out there at first, and he is out of the ball game. So in now, Bobby Burns. So Bobby Burns, certainly not a bad substitution by any stretch of the imagination. So Bobby Burns to pinch run. We'll see if he'll stay in the game. The Phillies picking up run number 5 as Dave Bancroft steps in. He is 1 for 2. Bobby Burns, good speed at first. Mathewson with a check of the runner. The 2-2 pitch. And this one, just a little flare into right field. And there goes Byrne. He's going for 3. The throw, the tag at third, and he is safe. Good aggressive running there by Bobby Byrne. And the Phillies just unrelenting in this game. And here's Fred Luderus. Bancroft at first, Byrne at third. 2 down. Matty dealing with runners at the corners. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So big strikeout for Mathewson. A little foul tip that Bresnahan holds on to, but 1 more run for Philadelphia in 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left on. It's the middle of the 7th, and it's the Philadelphia Phillies 5 and the New York Giants 1. So, guys, thanks for hanging out here with me. It's 12:54 a.m. on the East Coast. Roger Bresnahan, Sammy Strang, and George Brown. And here we go. The 3-1 pitch. Alexander loses him. So, how about that? First free pass given up by old Pete. Plenty of gas in the tank. 98 pitches thrown by him. Here comes Sammy Strang now. The Gotham second baseman, 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Bresnahan leads off first. Alexander checks the runner. The 0-1. There goes Bresnahan. The bunt's a good one. Perfect dead ball execution there. All right, so Sammy Strang with a successful sacrifice. And Bresnahan off with the pitch. That's the way you do it. All right, here is George Brown. 0-for-2. Alexander deals the 2-2. Brown swings, and this one should get down for a base hit. This is going to go all the way to the wall, and the New York Giants have themselves the second run, and Brown thought about going to third, but he will hold up. So it's now 5-2, Giants chipping away a little bit. So 11:55 in the Midwest. And everybody asking how everybody's doing, Nathaniel and Carlos Yaz. Excellent, excellent. All right, here's Matty. 2-for-2 today. So Mathewson definitely would like to get George Brown around 1 out. And George Brown has the speed to easily score on a base hit. Here's the delivery from Mathewson. And there we go. George Brown sends this to right, or Matty sends this to right. So Mathewson 3-for-3. The throw home. And George Brown is safe, and Matty, a perfect 3-for-3, bats in the second run for New York in this inning. So it's 5-3 now, and we're back at the top of the order, and Art Devlin becomes the tying run. Matty out at second. So Mathewson has 3 of the 8 New York hits. Alexander delivers. Here's the 3-2 to Devlin. Devlin swings, and this one could get down for a base hit, and indeed it does. Mathewson started to round third, but McGraw said, "You just stay right there, Christian gentlemen." So Devlin at first, Mathewson at third. Here comes Sam Murdy's now, left fielder, 1-for-3. Philadelphia, or New York, making some noise here in the bottom of the 7th on opening day. Alexander deals. Devlin swings. This one grounder to short. They will not turn 2, and coming into score is Christy Mathewson. Pardon me, guys. And the Giants are now within 1 of the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, so Murdy's on at first with 2 away, and here's Turkey Mike, 0-for-3. The 1-0 pitch. Murdy's goes, and another caught stealing. Killefer is just killing him. Perfect 3-for-3 now on attempted base runners, if my memory serves. And if not, he's damn close. 3-for-4 then. But the New York Giants pick up 3 runs, 3 hits, and a walk. Nobody left. We go to the top of the 8th. It's the Phillies 5 and the Giants 4. And we are starting to get a bit of a ball game going. Here's Nathaniel says that he's working on 8 different projects that are funded by grants. Way to go, man. Carlos Yaz, some good news there. He says he still has his job and go back Monday. That is a huge plus. Good for you, man. Good for you. Glad to hear it, Carlos. All right. And here's Gabby Kravitz. Kravitz having himself a good game, 1-for-3, with that inside the park home run that produced 2 of the 5 Quaker runs here. Mathewson now trying to hold on to, or try to keep his Giants in the game now that they've caught up to these Phillies to within 1 run. The 1-0 delivery. And Kravitz, hard hit to right field, back toward the wall, making the catch is George Brown to snag it. So 1 down, and I mean, that ball was hit hard by Kravitz, but just not enough. Beals Becker now. 0-for-3. Matty peers in. He is ready to go. The pitch to Becker. Becker swings. Hard ground ball to short. Gloved easily by Sammy Strang for the 4-3 putout to Dan McGann. And here's Milt Stock. And we will look at the defensive substitutions. We do have a change for Philadelphia. Who do we have here? Bud Weiser. How about it? So raise the glass. Bud Weiser is in for the injured Possum Witted now. So Bobby Byrne did not stay in the game. Matty to deal to Milt Stock, who's having a good day for Philadelphia. He's 2-for-3, 2 down here in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch to Milt Stock. Stock swings. Fly ball, center field, and with the wind carrying it, it will stay up a little bit just in time for Mike Donlin to make the catch. So the Philadelphia 8th is over. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and Philadelphia holding on to this 5-4 lead. Mike Donlin, Dan McGann, and Bill Donlin to bat for the New York Giants. Worst gamer, he's just feeling good and bad. Had a good time eating out with a friend on Friday, but still having issues with the big toe. Had an infection and went away, but something is still off. So yeah, man, get to the doctor, man. Don't mess around with infections. Not that you're gonna die, but yeah, got to see what's going on there, huh? All right, here's Turkey Mike Donlin now. Donlin, nothing for 3. Alexander with 5 strikeouts and a walk. The 2-2 pitch. Donlin swings and rope to center, base hit. So Donlin aboard. He represents the tying run for the New York Giants as Dan McGann steps in the box. 2 for 3. Donlin has an aggressive lead, but the way Killefer's been gunning him down, not sure that John McGraw wants to send Mike Donlin. Here's the delivery. Donlin does not go. This one popped foul on the first base side, and giving chase and making the catch is Fred Luderus. So 1 down. Donlin remains at first, of course. And here's Bill Donlin, nothing for 3. Donlin leading off first. The delivery. Again, the runner doesn't go, and this one gets by Killefer. No need for the stolen base as Turkey Mike gets to second. So wild pitch by old Pete. Donlin back in now. Here's the 1-0, and he swings little number to first, and taking it to the bag himself is Fred Luderus. Moving to third on the play is Turkey Mike Donlin, but 2 down, so Bresnahan needs a safe hit or an error or something to that effect to tie it up here. Bresnahan, nothing in 2 attempts. The 3-2 pitch. Bresnahan, big swing and a miss, steal right 3. So that's the 6th strikeout by Grover Cleveland Alexander, and it was a big one. No runs, a hit, no errors. A runner left at third, and we go to the 9th. It's the Phillies 5 and the Giants 4. We get to the Giants 9th. We will see Sammy Strang, George Brown, and Christy Mathewson. In the meantime, here we see those same 7, 8, 9 slots up. Rabbit Killefer, Bert Niehoff, and old Pete Alexander. Matty peers in, has the sign to Killefer, who was 1 for 3 today. The full count on Killefer. Killefer swings, and this one is lined into the gap in left field. Killefer's at least going to have 2, and indeed he will. So leadoff double for Killefer and the Phillies here in the 9th, and Killefer can get around the base paths. Bert Niehoff, 1 for 3. Nathaniel says that he missed our draft. All right, well, excellent. So Nathaniel, certainly, I hope you'll enjoy the Shanks games, and Shanks 4 will be coming up in like 2 to 3 weeks, so you'll be able to be in the next draft. Where Steve's trying really hard to get more and more people. Mike Silva's going to be joining us in that one, and some other folks as well. So you definitely were missed, Nathaniel. Not only at the draft, you've just been missed around the community. All right, just want to make that clear, bud. Killefer leads off second, nobody out. Phillies looking to add some insurance here in the 9th as Big Six deals, and the runner goes to third and gunned down at third. Roger Bresnahan with a great play to get Rabbit Killefer. So base is empty. Big play there by the Duke of Tralee. Bresnahan now, sets the sign. The 0-2 pitch swung on, and Niehoff just a little loft to the left there, and Sam Murdy's comes in and makes the grab. So 2 away now for Pete Alexander's nothing for 2. Run batted in. Here's the delivery. And Alexander swings, and I mean good contact on this ball. That's going to get down and bounce to the deep part here of Polo Grounds. And And Alexander turning on the Jets. He is going for 3. Alexander's coming home. The second inside the park home run by the Philadelphia Phillies. And they got the insurance they needed here thus far in the ninth. It is 6-4. Touch 'em all, Mr. Alexander. All right. Now we see a pinch hitter in the leadoff spot for the Philadelphia Phillies. And it's Ed Burns, as Ken Castro says, wow. So Grover hammering around the bases like there is no tomorrow, and it's only opening day. Matty deals the 0-2 pitch. Burns swings, and this one hit in the gap as well. I mean, Mathewson, what a bad day for Big Six. And going for 2. Are we going to see another one? Nope. This is going to be a triple. So Ed Burns in there at the triple, 2 down, and here's Beauty Bancroft, who is 2 for 3. So Mathewson rubbing up the tobacco and licorice-stained, scuffed, spiked ball, has the sign from Roger Bresnahan out of the stretch in the 1-1 pitch. Swung on. This one just a weak number. Back to the pitcher, and so Bancroft beats it out, and in to score is Ed Burns. Bancroft picking up the RBI single, infield single, and Philadelphia now leading the New York Giants 7-4. What a hell of a ball game we have here. Fred Luderus, nothing for 4. Bancroft leads off first, and this one smacked into right field, base hit, and we have a pinch hitter or a relief pitcher. We'll see who that is, and Bancroft will move to third base. So that's Claude Elliott. So Mathewson finally takes a seat. McGraw pulls him in the ninth. Here's Gavy Kravitz, the Philadelphia Phillies, keeping it going. 23 hits between these two teams, and Philadelphia owns 13 of them. Fred Luderus at first, Dave Bancroft at third. And yeah, it is crazy. Oh my God, this is a barn burner here, to be sure. All right, so Claude Elliott. I don't know a lot about Claude Elliott, so let's get a little Claude Elliott here. So began his major league career in 1895. 1895, and then for some reason didn't come back, and then in 1904 he was with Cincinnati, and then in 1904 was traded to the Giants, and so that's it. Not really a long career for him, so, but there we go. His nickname, Chaucer. So how about that? And being a fan of Geoffrey Chaucer, I'm loving the nickname. All right, kind of looking like it. He could be a Chaucer reader, I suppose. All right. Anyhow, enough of that nonsense, right? Gavy Kravitz owns one of the game's 2 inside the park home runs, the other by Grover Cleveland Alexander. Claude Elliott with runners at the corners, 2 down. The 1-1 pitch, and this one is going to be a passed ball, and coming in to score on that is Dave Bancroft. Fred Luderus heads to second. Nothing going right for the New York Giants, and they now have doubled their lead, for the Philadelphia Phillies have now doubled their lead thanks to the passed ball. This one getting by the Duke of Tralee. It'll probably be devoted to Squire or even Page for a while. It is 8-4 Philadelphia, and this one is all but over. Luderus out there at second base. Claude Elliott with the 2-1 pitch. This should end it. Grounder to second, and indeed it does, as Kravitz grounds out to end the inning. However, the Philadelphia Phillies pick up 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and a runner left in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the ninth here, opening day at the Polo Grounds. And it's the Phillies of 1915, 8, and the Giants of 1905, 4. Due up Sammy Strang, George Brown, and they took their best hitter out of the lineup, Christy Mathewson, at least in today's game. So we'll probably see John McGraw sending up a pinch hitter for Claude Elliott. Sammy Strang has an RBI in this game. He's 1 for 2. Alexander looking for the win. Full count on Sammy. Strang swings in the full count pitch. Slow dribbler to second. And no problem from Bert Niehoff as he fires on to Fred Luderus for the 4-3 putout. So here's George Brown with an RBI in this game, 1 for 3, run scoring double in the 7th. Brown swings, popped in foul territory, third base side, giving chase and waiting for the horsehide to come down is Milt Stock. So Giants down to the last out here on opening day in the Castro McGregor Legends League. And we see a pinch hitter, and it's Frank Bowerman. So I'll have a quick look here at Frank Bowerman. So Bowerman, his career beginning in 1895, he would exit the majors in 1909. In 1905, for the New York Giants, he had 328 plate appearances with 3 home runs, 41 runs batted in for him, and not the most creative nicknames. His nickname was Mike. All right. One of the things I love about out of the park baseball is you kind of have a baseball encyclopedia already right there and can look at a player's entire career. I love that. I'd love Action PC to do something like that. Within game that easy. The 2-0 pitch now to Bowerman. Bowerman swings, lofted to left, and this should end the ball game, and indeed it does, as Beals Becker catches it for the final out of the inning, and the Philadelphia Phillies open up the Castro McGregor Legends League or something, I think we're calling it. Anyhow, it's 8-4. Let's look at our recap, and then we are done. The 1900 season began for the New York Giants with a loss to the Philadelphia Phillies at the Polo Grounds. The final score, 8-4. Philadelphia shortstop Dave Bancroft had a fine performance. Grover Cleveland Alexander picked up the win with 9 innings of work. He also allowed 4 runs on 10 hits while walking 1 and striking out 6 on the season. Of course, he's now 1-0. Gavy Kravitz, the 34-year-old right fielder, had a direct impact on the outcome. Kravitz contributed a 2-run homer, inside the park home run in the first inning to put Philadelphia up 2-0. And so, of course, the player of the game should be and is Grover Cleveland Alexander, who struck out 6 through 9, gets the win. So begins the season with a 4.00 earned run average. Christy Mathewson, just not a good outing on the, bite me Windows. Not a good outing for him. Pitching, batting 3 for 3 today. But Matty went 8 2/3, 12 hits, 8 runs, 5 earns, 1 walk, only 2 strikeouts. So 5.19 earned run average. Claude Elliott worked a third of an inning and gave up a hit. And that is it. We will leave the game. And let me see. Do we have any other likely? Not going to do another game. But there's some good opening day matchups. So when we come back to this league, I'll have a couple ballparks ready. And what I'm thinking, Cousin Ken, yeah, definitely a great opening from a Philly standpoint. I'm thinking, Ken, that when we come back to this, our first 19th century game, how about the 1899 Superbas versus the 1885 White Stockings? Does that sound good to you? Doc McJames versus John Clarkson. So I'll definitely find some ballparks, or at least assign something to them other than the default ballpark that comes with Out of the Park. So next time will be 19th century action. Texag says, hello, was looking most of the night for a broadcast and didn't see anything. I'm so sorry about that. Today's been a crazy day, and I wanted to get on earlier and couldn't get it done. I'm sorry, man. Getting ready to call it a day and checked one last time, and wow, you're on. So, yeah, so next time, maybe it might even be tomorrow, Ken, in the afternoon, 1899 Superbas, 1885 White Stockings. We also have the 1894 Orioles against the 1888 Pittsburgh Alleghenies. We could also do, which will be a first, I think, on YouTube, the YouTube sports gaming community, a team from the National Association. So it's opening day for the 1875 Boston Red Stockings. They'll face off against the 1876 Louisville Grays. So doesn't look like they have their starter yet. So some good games though coming up here. But I'm um, definitely liking this because of how crazy the Chicago White Stockings played in the Ken Castro Dead Ball 19th Century tournament. And I think McJames and Clarkson is going to be a great one. So I think we'll do some 19th century love there. So this is what the hell did I call this thing? Let me go to the league home. It's the Castro McGregor Legends League, is what it's called. So this is not McGreevy. This is kind of just something to do while other things are going on. But so what this is, Tex, is the Ruby Legs are going to get crushed. I didn't even see who they're going to play. So what happened in this, at least for the 19th century, is there are a couple teams in here that aren't very good, and Ken thought it'd be a great idea to put a couple teams in here that maybe weren't so good, but we at least get to see some players from that time. So the Worcester Ruby Legs. I mean, Ken would, I guess, know the names of these guys on this team. Let me see how many I even know. So I've heard of George Kramer, Arthur Irwin, of course, Harry Stowe. Yeah, Lee Richmond. Holy shit, I know a lot of these players. Doc Bouchon, who we saw in our Ned McGreevy league. So, okay, I know some of these players on these Ruby Legs. In fact, a couple of them owe me some money from poker. Let's see, who do they play first? They will play the 1895 Cleveland Spiders. Yeah, they're going to get crushed. Holy shit. So not only is it Old Hoss Radborn, but you got Cupid Childs, George Chabot, Jesse Burkett, Chief Zimmer, Ed McKean, Patsy DeBow, Jimmy McAleer. Oh my God. So again, these Spiders were only bad in 1899. That was it, man. They were in contention in the 1890s. So this is in two separate sort of leagues, although there's interleague play because we wanted to mix it up. But I expect these Spiders to do pretty well. All right, so for you guys who really love Dead Ball, do you have a replica jersey of any of these teams? Is it made of material they used back in? Man, I would love, 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 love. I know the Cooperstown collection has those things, and I've always loved the White Sox jerseys, not just because of movies I've seen, uh, Field of Dreams or whatever. They're just sharp looking with that Sox logo, but Cooperstown collection jerseys a little bit out of my price range for right now, as I'm still trying to occupationally get myself sorted. So, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't be wearing those in the summertime because they wore wool. Texag says go to Ebbets Field Flannels. You can get that kind of merchandise. So it's, yeah, sort of expensive, yeah. Same as Cooperstown collection. But I've always wanted a White Sox jersey. If I had the bucks, man, I would get Dead Ball jerseys from the original 16. Well, it'd be a little bit more than 16 because you'd have to have the original Baltimore Orioles, right, and all that kind of stuff. The Brooklyn team would be kind of funny because it's not going to say Dodgers. It could say, depending upon what year you get, it could say Robins, could say Superbas, what have you. But if I had the money, I would do that. I would at least get 16 jerseys, Highlanders, Pirates, whatever. But I do not. I do not. A couple of hats made of wool, and they were $65 a pop. Damn. So Ebbetsfield Flannels. Hey, hey, hey! There he is. So Steve Tate, the man, the myth, the libido. Steve, inquiring minds want to know what time opening day is with Shanks tomorrow. I know you're broadcasting it. Whether it's going to be in the day or evening. So good to see you. Yeah, we're actually spent most of the before starting the game while I was finishing up logos for the Dead Ball teams in this thing. we were doing, we were talking about food. It's mostly Italian food. So if it's at nighttime, I won't be there. So midday tomorrow. Oh, cool. If it's midday, I'll be able to be at the, have my usual seats in the bleachers watching opening day. If it's nighttime, I'm out doing music. So anyhow, I've told everybody tomorrow is opening day. Everyone's excited about it. We've talked to, and Big Clue told me he's already looking forward to the next draft, and it's going to be fun. Mike Silva was in here earlier. It's going to be great to have him as part of it. I think everybody drafted some great teams. Can I get back to the matchups? Absolutely, cousin. Be happy to. And what might you be looking for, cuz? Yep. Tomorrow there will be a live broadcast. Steve is doing the opening day game. Don't know who it's going to be, but yep. I mean, it's only right that it starts on Steve's channel. He's the one that has done. I mean, Big Clue's not a content creator, but I mean, Steve has really done the lion's share, and I think it's only right that he should open the festivities. Yeah, Clue's ready to draft. He's ready for Shanks 4-0. Seriously, Steve. He's like, we're talking the other day. He's like, I can't wait for the next draft. He's set to go. He is set to go. Lineup for the 1875 Red Stockings. Yep, absolutely. I can do that. Actually, just go back to the standings and do that. It's probably a little easier to find them that way. Let's just do it that way. Because then everybody's over here, right? All right, you Boston dudes. Where'd you go? There they are. So for the Red Stockings, this is a tough, tough team. And, yep, I know every player on here. Every player on here. So Ross Barnes, Andy Leonard, Cal McVeigh, Jim O'Rourke, Deacon White, Al Spalding, Tommy Beals, and Jumbo Latham. So this is going to be a tough team. This is I think the only team in the league from the National Association, and could be the first time we have a National Association. I don't think anybody's ever done a team from this time in baseball. National Association is cool that Out of the Park included, because it's not actually recognized, I guess, as a major league, but to me it is. And there he is. There's her right. Look, there's Andy Leonard. So we got an Irishman and an Englishman on the same team. I think that's pretty cool. What's going to hurt them, maybe, is this is the entire roster. This is it. This is it. So if we were doing this as a league and somebody wanted to manage the Red Stockings, good luck. Really, 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 really good luck, because that's it. This is all you have, a four-man pitching staff. Manny, McVeigh, Spalding, and George Wright. That's all you got. Mm-hmm. Cal McVeigh, sure. There he is. Good picture of him, too. And if anything in Out of the Park baseball, if it's blue, that is exceptional. And green, of course, is good. So McVeigh is going to be tough. The thing that's going to be really, really important, obviously, for the Red Stockings is going to be these pitchers are going to have to go like super deep, right? For those of you not familiar with him, a rather short career. So in 1875, played for Boston, and in 1876, 77, played for Chicago, and then he came back in 1879. I don't know why he missed 1878, and finished with Cincinnati. So just 4 years for Cal McVeigh. But he is going to be tough. He is going to be tough. Just so cool to play with some of these players, teams, what have you. Let's look at his pitching. No, nothing yet. That's because we don't have anything going on here. So, yeah. Good stuff, man. And that's it. Unless there's anybody else you want to look at, cousin. Texac says he tried 3D Classic View and really liked that, even over Modern 3D. Okay, cool. I have remember last night my computer was being goofy. Let me try something here. Let's have a look. I've looked at it. I forget how to do this now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start it and quit it. But let's go into an exhibition. Superb as Yankees. We're not actually gonna play the game, so I'm gonna switch around. Now I was doing a lot of goofy stuff. I was playing No Man's Sky earlier, so my computer, I haven't reset it. It might be a little pissed off. Holy man! Okay, yeah, because it's Yankee Stadium, but an older. So we're going to keep this for the Yanks. Obviously, it wasn't built yet in 1918, and I didn't want to have two polo grounds. So thank you for allowing me the license to do that. Classic 2D view. Yeah, I have to. I did something here when I was trying to show everybody something, and I don't know why it's like this, but I don't know what the hell I did. I did something weird here. But I'm familiar with the view. What's nice about it is, of course, you can, you get to see a lot more stats. But I have no idea why this is going on. I've got to figure it out. Oh wait, classic 2D, classic 3D. Yeah, I don't know why my computer is doing this. It's something I did. Got to figure it out. But yeah, it's cool. I'm just so used to playing with the modern 3D view. So Reds 1878. Yeah, let me cancel this game. Options. You know what? We can't simulate it. We have to. Shit, there's no way to can. So what I don't like about this, other games you can just cancel it, because if I save this game, it won't let me play unless this is finished out. But we'll just go ahead and simulate it. It'll be fine because it's just that. Okay. And Superb has beat Edge the Yankees 3-2. The game does not count. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. Okay, we'll leave the game. And what are we looking at? The 1878 Reds. So he was the skipper of the Reds in 1878. I did not know that. All right, let's check it out, man. Where are you, 1878 guys? There they are. I might change that logo. That looks a little too, looks a bit naff. Meet the team. Oh, hey, I did not know my favorite player. So we're going to have some doppelgangers in here, but it is what it is. All right, so who do we got here? Billy Gear, King Kelly. There's Cal McVeigh. There he is. Charlie Jones, Deacon White. So that's all right. Doppelgangers in this is fine. Lip Pike. There he is, Lip Pike. And who the hell is this? Is that... Am I reading that right? Chubb Sullivan. Don't know much about him. Getting wicked weather, so you're going to drop out. Yeah, Carlos, I'm going to be closing off here in a minute. You get... So Ken Castro says that he thinks that Lip Pike was the first, may have been the first Jewish player. Cool. Yeah, Ken and I could look at this shit all night. Let's learn a little bit about Lip Pike before we close it off. Why the hell not? So let's look at his real life stats. So he began with Troy in 1871. So he played all 5 years in the National Association. Then with the National League, played with St. Louis. And I didn't. I have to reset all these things. Anyhow, career spanning 1871 to 1887, and looks like he did National League all the way through, so he didn't jump to any place else. So what's the deal with this guy here? Let's look at his career. 321 hitter. I like what this does. What this game does too. So you get the career totals, but what this does is it also just gives you an average over his career. It'd be really fun to kind of export something like this. It would be maybe closer, I guess, though, to Strat's career history disc, so maybe not so much. But so it averages Pike out over 162 games. So through his career, if he was playing a 162 game schedule. And yeah, so he had a little bit of speed here. I see in 1875, stole 25 bases. I'm not sure where they're getting the caught stealing numbers. Maybe I think they're extrapolating because I know that caught stealing, in fact, stolen bases weren't even a stat yet. So I'm not sure how Out of the Park is generating numbers for stolen bases and caught stealing for these teams from the 1870s. But you know what? It's all a what if anyhow, right? Oh, that's weird. Don't know what it did there. But anyhow. Yeah, that would be a nice idea. Something that I know Steve's been doing with that he did like with our Negro League file, with those players and adding in some cool things about them. Yeah. Oh, I know, right? So many, especially these. I mean, the dead ball teams, right? I think we've seen so many of them, but you know, to look at these 19th century teams, I think is really really fun. So we just saw the Giant. Let's look at the Louisville Grays. We didn't pick the Louisville Colonels team, I think, but that's all right. So I don't know how these guys are going to be, to tell you the truth. In fact, Ken, I'm not sure I know. Let's see, I know the name Pop Snyder, Ed Somerville. Um, God, a lot of these names, I don't even know. George Bechtel, I may have heard that name in my studying of baseball history. You know anything about these Louisville Grays here, cousin? I don't know a lot of these players. Oh my God, I'm sure Steve's already gone. But I remember one night or a couple nights, and we're looking at his 5 year files for hours. For hours. It was brilliant. I just love it. I think these Louisville Grays are going to get, I think they get spanked around a little bit here. So, you know, a handful of players, not a good team, also going to get crushed. So this must have been one of the ringers we picked. Let's pick another one. Another one from 19th century. What about the 1888 Giants? Let's see what we got here with the 1888 Giants, because I'm loving this stuff, man. George Gore, yep, definitely know that name. Mike Tiernan, absolutely. Roger Connor, yep. Buck Ewing. This is going to be a pretty tough team, I think, these 1888 Giants. Roger Connor, of course, baseball's first career home run king. And there he is, 124 home runs. That would stand until Babe Ruth. Played from 1880 to 1897. It's a 17-year career for the Hall of Famer. And he spends, so TRN, I forget who TRN is. I wish this would show me. And I can't go to that either, unfortunately, so I have to look them up. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be strongest. So, Ken, who do you think is going to be the strongest 19th century team? I know you don't have them all memorized here. Maybe you do. You have a great it blows me away. It's like, hey, can you check this team, that team? It kind of blows my mind how you can do that. But we've got some good ones here, certainly. I mean, these White Stockings were nuts in Action PC. It's going to be interesting to see when we play them throughout this season how they're going to do. Dalrymple, Burns, Gore, Anson, Kelly, Williamson, Sunday, and Bill Krieg. So, not as familiar with Bill Krieg, but the other names I know really well. Oh, Roger Connors was born in Canada Day. Thank you for that. What's Gamer? Did not know that. So, Orioles, 85 White Stockings, 84 Graves, 3 off the top of your head. Yeah, going to be some tough. Going to be some tough stuff here. Obviously, yeah. I mean, the Orioles. I mean, no doubt whatsoever there. So, do we have a better picture? It's the same. Yeah, it's the same picture. Okay. Love the depth chart and everything like that. I'm trying to remember. It probably does. Does Action PC Baseball have a depth chart like this? I can't remember if it does. You'd think I'd know it as much as I play it, but oh well. Ruby Legs. Let's look at those. Did we look at the Ruby Legs yet? We did not. Let's look at the Worcester Ruby Legs. This was one of the ones that Ken picked. Oh my God. So there's some known players on here. John Clarkson is the one that really, really sticks out among all of these. But these guys are, they're not very good, are they? They are not very good. So, I mean, you have Harry Stovey, who has Harry Stovey and Lee Richmond. Lee Richmond was a good player too, but these guys weren't too good, were they? Gonna be fun. It is gonna be a hell of a lot of fun. Who do they play first? Oh yeah, we already said the Cleveland Spiders. Yeah, they play their first 2 against Cleveland, and then they play the Alleghenies for 2. Then the Giants. Oh my God, they're gonna. Not that these. I don't think the 1888 Alleghenies are very good though. But having to start off against the Cleveland Spiders, and then they got to play the 1888 Giants team. Yeesh. Let's see. Well, hey, Fred Dunlap. People, big fan of Fred Dunlap. There he is in the 1888 Pittsburgh Alleghenies. Jake Beckley. All right. Oh, Billy Sunday, man. Billy Sunday's in a few teams here. It does have a depth chart. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for it. I guess it's probably there, and I just forgot. I mean, I don't remember looking pretty like this, but I guess it does have one. And probably when I see it, I'll be like, oh yeah, of course, there it is. So, depending upon when Steve does his game will depend upon whether I do a game tomorrow. If I don't, we'll be doing one like Sunday. So either way, we got 19th century coming up, Ken, because it's been a while since we've done that. And I guess that's it. And so thank you to World's Worst Gamer, to the great Cousin Ken Castro, heart and soul of the channel. It's not official unless I say that. Carlos Yaz, thanks for coming in. Tex Ag 75, buddy. Thank you. Steve Tate, great to see you, man. Looking forward to opening day tomorrow. So thank you for coming in. Nathaniel Lentz, thank you, buddy. He is long off to the to Slumberland. Todd B definitely is. He's got to work tomorrow. D. Scott Howard, Legend Sports Universe. Getting closer to baseball again on his channel. Aaron Reed sneaked in and didn't even see him. I'm sorry, Aaron. I didn't see you, buddy. Bernie Strom. Excellent channel there. And excellent people all around here. And I think we got everybody up. Mike Silva, of course. Thank you, Mike. I know you're long far asleep. Carlos Yaz tonight gets the 19th century Robbie Wartburg bobblehead doll, complete with handlebar mustache and a nice. Well, actually, Robbie doesn't drink whiskey, so never mind. What's this I'm looking at here? Oh, cool. Oh, that is nice. That is nice. The Worcester Ruby Legs, 1882. You know what? It just hit me for these old franchises, Ken, because you've seen my artwork. I can design these because I design T-shirts. But that looks nice, man. Is this the one you have, or is this the one you're gonna pick up? Is this one of the ones you have? I really like that. That's a nice look. Yeah, I thought you were joking. Yeah, it's a nice T-shirt, man. That is a nice one. Oh, I wanted to show you guys if I can find her. So I thought you guys might be interested in seeing the director of player development because I didn't show you guys. So before you go, and I have to hurry up and move this out of here. Yeah, right, I do. There we go. YouTube will ding me, so let me do this because you guys have to see the director of player development. I think I have her in here. I think, or maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, no. You'll see her. I don't have her saved in this particular area. So, yeah, you'll see her soon. Just leave it at that. All right. Anyhow. All right, cousin. Get that shirt. And everybody, have a great night. And thank you very much. And a great talk about good Italian food and stuff like that. And see you around the batting cage tomorrow, opening day of the Shanks 3.0. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you.